I'm here with Mohammed.
This is what happens when you come to a video with me. You're not on test yet.
So you got your driving license with you, yeah?
Yeah.
Can you read the number plate on that blue car over there?
LR12AYV.
That will do, my friend.
Mohammed has come all the way from
Hornchurch.
Hornchurch.
Romford.
Are you from Essex?
Essex.
And you've come here for a Part 2 mock test.
That's right.
Anybody that's new to the channel or doesn't understand what a Part 2 mock test is, it's one of the tests that you need to do if you want to qualify as a driving instructor. Part 1 is your theory, Part 2 is the driving test, and Part 3 is the instructor abilities test. Tell me a little bit about your driving history. How long have you been driving for?
Well, I've been driving probably 2006-07, but I passed my license since 2009. I was driving with international license.
Okay. So you've been driving in the UK a long time?
15 years, yeah.
15 years, okay. What made you think to become a driving instructor, just out of interest?
Well, retirement plan.
I don't blame you.
Giving more time to the family, probably with flexibility.
It gives you that. Have you ever been self-employed before?
Well, yes, I did self-employment, but that also, kept me busy for.
The learner drivers will keep you busy too, my friend. But I guess you can choose your hours, can't you?
Yes,
There's a
right.
flexibility in there. That's the beautiful thing about becoming a driving instructor. So if you're interested in becoming a driving instructor and you want a little bit more information on that, hopefully this channel will give you some of that. At the moment it doesn't. It's just mainly mock tests, really. But at some stage there'll be some more information on all of that. But if you want any more information, then hit me up. Oh, if you are interested in doing a mock test on the channel, whether you are a learner driver or a PDI in training, then I'll put my Instagram down here. Follow me, send me a DM, and then we can talk about it. That's what we did. Just like always, like, comment, and subscribe, because it really does boost the video, pushes it out to a wider audience. Really do appreciate that. And also, yeah, give him some love in the comments. This guy's come all the way down here to do this video.
Please love the videos and subscribe.
What training have you done? Can you tell me what training you've done?
Yes, I've actually went with 2 different instructors for 3 hours, and I've been practicing myself.
Okay.
So
how many hours have you done?
3 hours.
You've done 3 hours?
3 hours with the instructor, and myself probably 10 hours.
Okay, it's a good start.
Yeah.
It's maybe coming to, like, if you're in training, it's probably coming a little bit early to a mock test. But for what I get quite often is I get people who have done nothing. So you've done more. He's done more. Are you connected to a school?
Not yet, no.
Okay, so you're looking to find your way through.
Find
Okay,
it.
that's absolutely fine. So you know what a Part 2 test entails?
Yes.
Okay, at all times I like to follow the road ahead unless I tell you to turn left or turn right, unless road signs indicate otherwise. If I need you to turn, I'll tell you in good time. We're going to take in 2 reversing manoeuvres. I always say possibly an emergency stop, but you're going to get an emergency stop. And I'll be asking you some show me, tell me questions. And we'll also be following the Satnav for about 20 minutes.
Sure.
If you don't know where you're going at any time, you can ask. Tell me how you'd adjust your head restraint so it gives you the best protection in the event of a crash.
Well, it should be nice level with the eye and top of the ear. And if it's adjustable, then it should be way up to the head, close to the head.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me how you'd know that there was a problem with your anti-lock braking system.
Of course, when you start the engine, the lights comes up on the dash. But if there's an issue with the ABS, then the ABS light will lit and it will illuminate and it will stay on.
Fantastic. Tell me how you would know if there was an issue with your power assisted steering.
When you start the engine, the power steering should feel soft and easy to move. So you try it. But if it feels heavy and if it's like very sluggy, sticking, then there's an issue.
All right, that will do. When we see you next, we'll be starting this thing. Whenever you are ready, if you want to start your engine for me, please. Whenever you are ready, drive on.
Sure.
Mohammed moves off well here, but immediately we enter difficulty. Currently, the road is quite clear, but all of a sudden, it's jam-packed, and he's got quite a difficult meeting situation to deal with.
Sorry, I have to find the biting point rightly.
It's okay, this is not your car, is it?
No.
So we're going to take the next road on the right. The approaching vehicle stops in a really awkward position, creating a much bigger problem. There's a lot going on here, isn't there? But Mohammed has stopped in an awkward position.
At the right time.
And then this guy is going to pull up here.
Oh, wow.
Of all the places to pull up his car.
And he's also coming. So, there you go.
This is putting Mohammed on the back foot. No matter how much training you do or whatever you learn, sometimes real-world situations are going to test you.
Okay, in that case, he's stopping. Where I'm stopping, he'll not be able to go. So I think I'll go and pull up on his left if it's okay.
We'd had a discussion about the hill start assist in my car, and he gets a bit confused thinking it's auto hold. He lifts his foot brake and the car rolls backwards. He's then forced to slightly enter the driveway.
I'll have to use the driveway. Oh, it was rolling back. I thought it'll automatically brake.
And then take this next road on the right here for me, please.
He got himself out of the situation, but the question is, could he have done any better to start with? Personally, I just think he was a bit unlucky here. This could really have gone against him, but on the day, I didn't mark it. There is this space on the left-hand side that he possibly could have tucked in, but there's no way he could have known that this black car was about to pull up and block the road. And that's probably why I gave him the benefit of doubt. But I think the real issue here is that he doesn't react, he just freezes, and I can understand that as the test has just started. By sitting in the position that he is blocking the road and making it very difficult for the traffic to come past, albeit that they actually can fit. But sometimes the unexpected will happen, and as a professional driver you would be expected to make life easier for other road users. And the more I look at this, it's very likely that the examiner on the day would have expected some form of action. If you're already in a bad situation, don't make it worse by doing nothing. If you can, do your best to make life easier.
And if you could just pull up on the left just before... Oh, yes. So there's two cars here, actually.
Yeah.
So just before the second car. Sorry about my knee there, buddy. And in this instance, don't worry too much about driveways, okay? So just leave about a car length of space between you and that vehicle. A little bit closer. That'll do. That'll do. In this instance, the driveway is not a problem, okay? Brilliant. Drive on when you're ready.
Apart from that little hiccup at the start, his good overall observation and mirrors and signals, etc., etc., is good. He's got a solid base. When we drive around the bend, a vehicle emerges from his right-hand side, entering the road a little bit too quickly, demonstrating exactly what you shouldn't be doing at junctions. The number one reason why learner drivers fail their driving tests is observations at junctions, and in this instance, not looking left before you emerge.
And at the end of the road here, turn right for me, please. She came out of that junction like there wasn't going to be anybody there.
The road is reasonably busy, and Mohammed waits patiently for his gap.
There's a car on the right, and there's a gap on the left. Right.
He's in the 20 zone that catches quite a lot of people out. He asks me a question, slightly takes the car over the speed limit, realizes quickly, and corrects.
Is that a petrol car or diesel?
It's petrol.
Because the engine noise is quite high.
It was only just over. In this case, I'm going to put that down as not noteworthy.
30 speed.
At the roundabout, turn right for me, please.
At this roundabout, the actual roundabout markings are almost invisible, and he drives kind of straight over it, and I can understand why on this one. A, the bus is coming from the left, kind of forcing the situation, and B, it's the easiest path through, really, on this particular one, so it's not a major issue. However, later on, he does pick up a fault for this.
And at the next roundabout, follow the road ahead.
On the approach to this roundabout, the learner driver ahead brakes a little bit sharply. My thoughts are that it's possibly the instructor doing this. However, this has little to no impact on us because Mohammed has a safe gap.
And then if you could take the next road on the right for me, please.
Mohammed positions a little bit early for this right turn, turning across the right turn filter box for the vehicles coming the other way. This is not really how it should be done, and it was a little bit unnecessary. This could go down as response to road markings, but again, on the day, I chose not to mark it.
Find somewhere, if you can, to pull up on the right in a safe place.
Mohammed takes his time and finds a suitable spot. When he goes to reverse, he does make a mistake with steering.
Brilliant. Now, if you could reverse the car back about 10 metres, keeping it reasonably close to and parallel to the curb.
Overall, he does well here. He does good observation around the car and stops for all oncoming vehicles. It's just the steering. He starts to steer towards the curb and loses track of it and bumps into it. He's then forced to move the car forwards. When he realises his mistake, he then tries to squeeze his way through, but it's kind of a bit too late. A correction like this will definitely pick you up a driver fault for control.
I think I'll have to adjust. Can't see the gap, so let me just move a little forward.
Okay.
What I do like, though, is his consistency with his mirror work and observations. He doesn't neglect to make sure that it's safe to move the car. He now completes the manoeuvre, and then we're on our way.
Okay, that'll do. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're now going to be following the Satnav for approximately 20 minutes, okay? If you don't know where you're going, you can ask, okay?
Sure.
All right, drive on when you're ready.
Arrive at your destination at 11:43 a.m.
There's a bike quite far up.
He moves away safely. A little further up the road, we're turning left, and he just signals a little bit late.
After 200 yards, turn left.
There is a following vehicle, and although it doesn't majorly impact them, they definitely could have warranted an earlier signal. So, in this case, it's a driver fault for signal timed.
Turn left.
He then turns left at this next roundabout, and then it's the following roundabout that he just drives straight across, again picking up another driver fault for response to road markings. Even though the rule is you must go round mini roundabouts, sometimes they're positioned in awkward places, making that very difficult. But this one, he just completely ignores, and almost goes over the right-hand edge of the roundabout. The next mini roundabout, however, he does properly. A little further up the road, we're joining the dual carriageway, and he has a slight issue with a vehicle hogging the right-hand lane, and he doesn't feel like he can pass.
The Satnav is going to ask you to do something really stupid, okay? Don't follow it. So it's at the traffic lights, you're going to be turning left.
Okay.
Okay?
Sometimes the Satnav does the most stupidest of things.
After 200 yards, go straight on, then turn around when possible.
So
I'm going
clearly
left.
ignore that, and the traffic lights turn left.
Okay. I have to pass this road and then give the signal.
The guy behind is trying to figure out what's going on.
And I can see a cheeky smile.
Go straight on,
Oh.
then turn around
No,
when
left.
possible.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's okay. Satnav. You just forgot. 'cause-
Yeah. Last minute, it reminded me.
So it was the vehicle behind us that now hogs the right-hand lane, and I can understand why, because not far up ahead he probably wants to turn right. And we now enter a grey area zone. We're doing 38 miles an hour. And the question is, could Mohammed have passed safely on the left?
There's the thing that I cannot undertake him, and I'm sticking on 38. So
The good news though, in this situation we are approaching a set of traffic lights, so really the problem is solved. I'm not saying that it's the first course of action, but sometimes if it's safe to do so, you can do it. We shortly arrive at the traffic lights.
trying to figure out. We are following A41. Watford A41.
Yeah. Is that directed towards you? Can you see that properly?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Only thing is, I haven't used the TomTom for a while. Only used with the Google Maps.
They're not very good.
Google Map.
No,
Oh,
these ones.
The TomToms.
Yeah.
A little further up the road, he gets slightly caught out by a vehicle exiting a petrol station. It's possible for this to go down as awareness and planning, but today I didn't mark it. But I do think he dealt with it safely. He now maintains his position in the middle lane. He is technically passing as he's catching the van on the left. This now comes down to planning versus normal driving position, and I think planning trumps here. After he passes the van, he does eventually get back to the left, although I would have personally liked to see him move back earlier. This hasn't been done 100% properly, but I'm just today going to put that down as noteworthy.
After 400 yards, cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
At this roundabout, Mohammed does well, but at the following one, the apex corner, he doesn't signal right to move round it.
Cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
He plans well for the approach, moving into the right-hand lane nice and early.
After 400 yards, go right on the roundabout and take the third exit.
At this roundabout, you can turn right in one of 3 lanes, and Mohammed picks the second from the right. It's busy and it's condensed with traffic, and I do feel that a signal definitely would have been beneficial. And just before he comes to a stop, a van pulls in
Go
front of
right on
him,
the roundabout and take the third exit.
which if you did that would pick you up a serious fault.
Last minute change.
Shall we forgive him because he's the NHS? It's a good example though, isn't it?
True.
Quite often at roundabouts like this, people don't signal, and in most occasions you can get away with it, but because of the thick and heavy traffic and people change lanes at the last second, a signal definitely would be beneficial. At the next roundabout, he again does the same thing. He does signal to exit and keeps good lane discipline.
Happy that I was in the right.
Sorry?
I'm happy that I was in the right because the left car.
Because of the...
Yeah. 1.25 mile later now.
He then drops back and keeps a good distance from the vehicle in front.
I'm trying to figure out if I'm going right on like 1.4 mile.
He does hold the middle lane for a while, but then eventually moves back to the left. The other option he has is to try and make progress, but it is quite thick with traffic.
Oh, it shows again out to the right.
Mohammed's looking at the Satnav and planning ahead. It also means he could start to pick up speed. He's now thinking to start moving across. Seeing the truck coming up behind, he realises he'll be hemmed in for much longer. So he starts the process of changing lanes. This hasn't been a shining example of progress driving, but with the weight of traffic, I feel he gets away with it.
It's not gonna be safe. Actually, he let me go.
He does eventually get the vehicle moving, and then we're arriving at the roundabout.
After 800 yards, go right on the roundabout and take the 4th exit. Go right on the roundabout and take the 4th exit.
And as I said before, there's no signal, and vehicles trying to enter the junction definitely could have benefited. He does, however, keep good lane discipline throughout.
Take the exit.
He then has a few questions about eco-safe driving and manuals, which I'll have to answer at the end.
After driving for a while automatic, I find it a bit funny to select the right gears.
Yeah, I think
So-
you're doing okay, aren't you?
In a few occasions,
You get a bit rusty, but it never
Yes,
goes
yeah.
away, does it?
No.
How many years did you drive a manual for?
Well, I used to mix up. And the other thing is I always try to do like eco drive, like keep the rev always below 2. So that's why it's my habit to go more higher gear than normal.
Okay. If you want to talk about that at the end, we can.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
A little further up the road, he gets his show me questions on the move.
And just when it's safe to do so, if you could put your rear demister on for me, please.
On this car, he's not 100% sure where that is, but he takes his time, keeps in control of the vehicle, locates it, and then activates it when it's safe to do so.
Amazing. Thank you very much. And then again, when it's safe to do so, if you could just open a side window for me, please.
Sure.
Again, he takes his time. He doesn't want to be taking his hands off the wheel at the wrong moment. I like this.
After 300
Thank you very
yards,
much.
turn left.
We are now forced off route as the road we're supposed to take is closed. This definitely wasn't in the plan.
I don't know why. I've been a bit nervous and I'm rushing through.
Oh, this is closed.
Oh, okay.
Turn left.
So I'll just follow the road.
Closed. Oh, interesting.
Diversion. So I'll follow the diversion sign.
We follow the diversion signs until we can't see them anymore, and then I have to use Waze to get us back en route. I am slightly out of my comfort zone.
So this is quite scenic, but completely off route.
It doesn't take long though before we're back on track.
Turn left onto A1081, St. Albans Road.
Mohammed slightly second guesses himself with this pedestrian crossing. There is a pedestrian there, but it is a double.
Yeah, she's not coming. She's coming, but
I know
we
where
are. I had a shield.
And they weren't even at the crossing. And I've figured out where we
I
are.
think I know where I am.
In 1.3 miles. At the roundabout, go straight on.
So national speed limit, but all the car parked close.
I think what he's trying to say, it's too risky to pick up speed, and he's absolutely correct and manages his speed here well. But once it opens up, he gets moving.
So I'm going to end this because we don't need this. Okay, I'll be directing you as normal, okay?
Sure.
It's definitely not normal to have an extra Satnav on a Part 2 test. It's just unfortunate, and that's just the way it was today. Throughout this section, he keeps a good separation gap between him and the vehicle in front, whilst making good progress. And it's not long before we're heading back on the A1 back to Mill Hill.
At the roundabout, we're going to take the first exit. You okay?
Too close? Well, I can see the wheel. That's what I've been told by my
So you can see the tyres?
tires. Yeah,
Tyres on...
on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it
Can you
just
see them?
No, not on the ground. I can see the right one tire on the ground, but not the left one. But I thought just watching the tire is good enough. Okay, so put that as a reference now.
It's just a reference point. Yes?
It is just a reference point. As long as you've got an escape route, it's just fine.
Also, I should be more careful when it's uphill, so he can come back.
It's true, yes. Yeah.
The dual carriageway up ahead is national speed limit, and he does pick up his speed nicely. He moves to overtake a vehicle in the left-hand lane and then just sits in the middle lane for a bit too long. This could have easily escalated to a serious. This bit I like. Instead of closing the gap on the vehicle in front, he moves out nice and early. But once he gets past, he just stays there. He should now be moving back to the left. There aren't any vehicles coming up behind. However, normal driving position, as I'm sure you know, is on the left. Middle lane hogging is classed as careless driving, which, if caught by the police, will pick you up a fine and 3 points on your driving license. What saves this from becoming a serious is he now moves back to the left. But this is a driver fault for normal driving position. He does, however, now respond very nicely to the upcoming change in speed limit. Coming off the gas nice and early, so there's no harsh braking. At the next roundabout, we're following the road ahead to the second exit. He chooses the middle lane, which is not really the correct lane, but it's fine in this instance because you can do that.
And then at the roundabout, you're going to follow the road ahead to the second exit?
I guess he's just hedging his bets, and it's not wrong, it's just not the correct normal driving position. He then waits for a suitable gap before proceeding, and a vehicle pulls up next to us playing music, which, on YouTube, I could get a copyright strike, so I'm just going to keep talking until he does actually finally get moving, or the car disappears. He does potentially miss an opportunity there, but his visibility was a bit poor because the vehicle was blocking his view, so in this case I'm just going to let that go. It's not worth taking a risk if you can't quite see properly. He then exits the roundabout well. He doesn't pick up his speed immediately, and the learner driver in front does, and he finds himself again in the middle lane. He needs to move back to the left, but he realises if he goes now, he's going to be very close to the vehicle in front. He waits for the gap and then moves across. That is a bit of an assumption, but that's how I've read it.
At the roundabout, which is about half a mile ahead, we're going to turn left.
He now gets caught out by a van that's broken down in our lane, but in all fairness, he can't see it until the last minute because of this current van that's right in front of us. The only warning he has is that it changes lanes, but it could have been changing lanes for any reason considering we're coming up to a junction. Either way, he chooses the safest option. Instead of taking a knee-jerk reaction and switching lanes, he just chooses to slow down. Just, in this case, a bit unfortunate.
I've never seen that somebody sitting on the side of the road and waving and luckily it's close to the junction, so we are slowed enough.
He's now a little bit distracted and takes the wrong turn.
So at the roundabout. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Even though I do remind him.
I've got no choice, but I'm gonna turn left now.
He read the left turn only marker, but he didn't see the A1S. It's fine, it doesn't matter, we're off route, and ultimately he did it safely. If I wanted to be harsh, it could be an awareness and planning.
Is there anywhere?
It's okay, continue, just drive on. And then you're just going to take the next road on the left, which is just where that post box is. Sorry, the next road on the right, just where that post box is.
We all get our lefts and rights confused sometimes. He's now got the emergency stop.
All right, so we're now going to do the emergency stop exercise. Okay, I'd like you to bring the car to an immediate and abrupt halt on the full control. My signal will be stop. I'll be making sure it's nice and safe behind us.
Sure.
Okay, drive on when you're ready.
Mohammed does well here. It's prompt, abrupt, and in full control. And he then performs good all-round observation before moving away. I just need to wait until there's a suitable spot to do it.
Stop. Thank you very much. I won't ask you to do that again. Drive on when you're ready.
Okay.
The emergency stop always seems to have that effect on people.
It's a weird thing doing the emergency stuff, isn't it?
Yes.
We're now not that far from the end of this test. He's got the Mill Hill Circus roundabout to deal with, which is quite a tricky roundabout, and then he gets slightly caught out as he drives through the high
Only
street.
thing I was thinking, doing the emergency stop, that I'm saving someone's life.
That's a good way to think. Yeah, that's how you're going to be teaching it. Okay, so at the end of the road, you're going to turn right for me, please.
End of the road, turn right.
He turns right onto a simple junction, and then we're approaching the Mill Hill Circus roundabout.
And then at the roundabout, you're going to follow the road ahead to the second exit.
This roundabout is tricky just simply because of all the keep clears. There's a lot of grey area around this roundabout, and as long as you do it safely, you'll be just fine. You can follow the road ahead from the left lane or the middle lane, and I always recommend really to do it from the middle lane simply because of all the keep clears.
That's the keep clear one. Am I caught?
And in this instance, he's very lucky because he's not even stuck on a keep clear. As you can see, the vehicle behind is.
It's so tricky. I mean, how not somebody can do those both things in this situation? It's very difficult unless you are very much used to. And also, it's a 3-car fate. If you look at the front van,
His signal is now a little bit late. Not that I believe anyone would think he was going anywhere else, but still, you can easily pick up another driver
he
fault.
stopped a bit far up.
It's a nasty roundabout, that one. Really nasty. And learner drivers have to deal with
There's
it.
a vehicle on the right-hand side that appears to be trying to park, but they change their mind and need to be let out. They do signal, but he doesn't notice.
So in this situation, which comes more priority? I mean, keeping it clear or getting close? Like if you have two options now left.
He stops, leaving a nice gap, allowing these vehicles to pass. The black car soon applies a signal, showing its intent that it wants to move out again. And the courteous thing to do would be to let it go. But Mohammed doesn't
We can
notice.
talk about that at the end if you want. Yeah. Okay.
After there's a gap in the oncoming traffic, the car starts to move, and so does he.
Oh.
And he's forced to stop a little bit harshly. And although you can't see it, I was covering my foot brake. This is a bit unfortunate, but he should have been thinking this could happen, so this is a serious fault for response to other road users.
Just to go now. Today, so many things happening together. When I'm driving on the road, I don't think I experience so many things at the same, like within 1 hour drive. Like what happened now, he was taking out, it looked like he was parking.
We only have the parallel park left to do, so we're going to jump to that.
So we're going to do the reverse parallel part using this car here. I'd like to pull up next to it and then reverse the car back in, finishing off reasonably close to parallel to the curb within the 2 car lengths. Okay? Whenever you're ready.
Mohammed's observations are again on point, but his control slightly lets him down. He drives into the curb, doesn't realise and pushes against it.
Oh, sorry, my name.
So. Stupidly, I'm just driving my regular car, like where you park on a narrow space and very close to
And again, even though he's correcting, his observations are still good.
Okay, that'll do. Okay, brilliant. Drive on when you're ready.
We move off from here and then pull up on the left just around the corner. So that's the end of the test.
How was that?
Bad. Worse. Could have been any worse than that.
It couldn't have been any worse. We had everything go wrong today, didn't we?
True. Very much.
I mean, when I say everything went wrong, the road was closed. We ended up like
I mean, yeah. I mean,
using Waze at one point there. Will we? That's nothing to do with you, though, is it? It's not your fault. And then you obviously had that stuff happen right at the beginning, which you said threw you as you were driving. You were going the drive. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk about this. We're going to talk about this. All right. So, how do you think that went?
bad. Very bad.
Okay. So, pass or fail?
Fail.
Fail. Okay. What do you think you failed for?
I think there are 2-3 serious. One is the last one was bad because when he was, the car on the left, right, he just came up in front all of a sudden, and I was more concentrating.
On the right hand side of the road.
Yes, yeah, I was more concentrating. Once I passed next to him, I was more concentrated with the bus, so that how I gonna meet, how much space I'm gonna left. So I was concentrating there, and suddenly, all of a sudden, he just came up. He thought I'm giving him away or something.
Okay.
Without no signal, nothing. So that was.
He had a
bad.
signal.
Did he?
Okay,
Probably
that's
missed it.
fine.
Okay.
What else do you think you failed for?
Now the reverse parking.
Okay.
With the band, I was like, with absent mind, I was doing, very close parking instead of taking that leverage of 1.5 car. I was going like a very small space and straight away into the curve.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said something else. What else do you think you failed for? I'm going to put you out of your misery. Okay? That was a fail. Now, some of the things that you just highlighted, that reverse parallel park, yeah, you were touching the curb and you drove against it as well, right? That's why a driver faulted it. I driver faulted it. I didn't serious fault it.
I'm not giving an excuse. I was a bit, funny about that reverse parking. Sorry, what am I
Reverse
saying?
gear?
No. Sorry, the hill assist. So, some of a sudden mind, I was thinking that probably the hill assist is actually stopping me to go back. That's why I was pushing it, and then realized it's not hill assist; it's the curb.
The curb. It was the curb. Yeah.
Okay.
So, a little bit unfair at the beginning because I explained to you what the hill start assist is. The hill start assist is just built into the car. Lots of cars have hill start assist. It's not auto hold. That's auto hold. Have you
even
ever
in my car, I have the hill assist and also auto hold. Both.
Do you have a regular hand? Oh no, you have a Mercedes, don't you?
Audi.
What kind of handbrake do you have?
Same one, like
Electronic.
This. Yeah,
okay.
electronic.
So you have electronic handbrake, and you have this button.
Yes, I do have.
Do you use it?
Yes. Yeah.
What is it?
If I just leave it on, whenever I'm braking, I'm slowing down, it stops, and then all I need to do is just press the gas, it releases.
It's auto hold.
Yes.
Whenever you stop, it automatically holds.
Exactly.
Hill start assist is not that. Hill start assist is just for hills.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So.
And in this car, it will only activate like if it's a proper hill.
Okay.
If
So
it's a little hill, like right at the beginning,
yeah,
it wasn't going to activate for that. It would have expected you to deal with that.
Oh.
Okay. So I didn't fail you for the parallel park. I didn't like it that you hit on the curb and then you tried to drive. I gave you a driver fault. You didn't go up it, and you pushed against it a little bit. You're going to get a fault because you shouldn't really be trying to drive up it. If you just touch the curb and then move the car forwards, you may not even get a driver fault for that. If you just touch it gently and then move the car forwards and then stop, yeah? And they do want to see a kind of one fluid motion. So it is possible to get a driver fault with even just touching the curb, okay? But it's not a fail. You highlighted the guy on the right-hand side. Yeah, that was a problem.
Oh.
that was a problem because he was indicating for quite a while, and we stopped in traffic, and you had the bus, and you had all the situations to deal with, and you were held back nicely. I thought you were going to let him out.
Yeah, I mean,
What does defensive driving mean?
observe, let others to take the initiative, like let them go.
It's part of it. It's part of it. It's not about let everyone go. If you let everybody go, right?
No.
Everybody, yes? And you are driving, what are you going to be doing to the people behind you?
Sure, I mean, you're holding them back.
So you've got to make the right choices. It's not about let everybody go. But there is one element of it, which is courtesy.
Yeah.
How easy is it for that person to get out? I mean, they've parked wrong way on the right-hand side of the road, yes, on the right-hand side of the road, facing that direction, and it's a mess. And it's a busy high street. Would I have parked like that? Probably not, if I was driving, right? But they're there. What can we do to help them out? It's been signalling for ages. We've been sitting there. Just didn't, I don't know whether you registered him. I don't think you did.
Somehow, I think I've raised. I didn't register that he's signaling out. Probably, it looked like he put a hazard. You know, sometimes they leave the car, gone to pick up something.
Yeah,
Hazard,
no,
so
signalling.
the car is staying there. Ears are moving, or I didn't see.
My
any.
foot came up. The reason why I serious faulted it is
Yeah.
because my foot came over that brake.
Of course, yeah.
And I saw it thinking he's going to let him go. It's going to be nice. And for something like that, it's possible for that to even go driver fault, yes? Because you did stop, you did let him go. It was just a bit late, yes?
Yeah.
But I serious faulted it because I don't want to see that sort of behaviour. I want to see, and I don't want to say that behaviour. We don't want to promote that kind of behaviour.
True.
Does that make sense? So I'd rather make it a bigger problem than a littler problem. Yes? And it's because I was about to take action, I went to serious. When it comes to serious faults, there aren't that many serious faults on your test. When I say there aren't that many, that's the only one.
Oh, okay.
Yes? Serious faults. However, you're close on a few things, and on a different day, it could go a different way. The right reverse exercise, so we go back to the beginning. Okay, even this 20 mile an hour, you took it up to 22, you dropped it straight back down again. I saw that, yes? I'm going to let it go. It was just 22, it's 10%, and you noticed and you brought it back down. We then went across the roundabouts, we turned right, we did the pull up on the right. You went to reverse. Now, there's a slight thing with your steering. Which then brought you closer to the curb. You then look back, and eventually you were doing all your observations, you look back here, and you're right on it, and then you touch the curb, and then you had to move forwards. But the fault was your steering, really. I'm going to put it down as control in the reverse, because you had to touch, you had to move forwards, and you had to come back again. That shouldn't be necessary if you're going for part 2.
Yeah.
Should it?
No.
Instructor level?
Of
Yeah?
course.
Okay. But it's steering, so I want you to pay attention to your steering. I don't know whether it's accidental. It may be what you intended to do. I don't know. But either way, it's the steering. This mess thing right at the beginning, actually, this I didn't really like how you dealt with it, to be honest with you. It's not, you're a bit unlucky. Just unlucky. I mean, that happens right at the start.
Exactly. I mean, when it started, and I was completely fooled myself, putting in a situation like we had all the day.
Could we have dealt with it better?
True. Probably
Could
I
we
was
have
too
dealt with
nervous to deal with that.
Yeah, you just froze, like a learner driver froze. It's not normal, and it's not your fault. All of a sudden, there's a truck that's blocking the road completely, right? What could we have done?
Van come and park next to me, so
We had spaces on the left. What could we have done?
probably go to the left and wait.
And also, where you were waiting, there was vehicles squeezing past us, like because you were sitting in the middle of the road. Like, couldn't you have done something a little bit differently there?
I'm gonna watch the video and I'll see. I can't exactly remember the whole situation because at that time
You froze.
I was froze. Yeah.
If you weren't on test, you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have done that. What would you have done if you were in your car? What would you have done?
Probably, in my car, if I was more confident, probably I would have pulled over somewhere more safer places.
And if need be, what could you have done?
I put in it.
Reverse? Just tuck out the way?
Oh, yeah,
I know it's not.
Ideal for reversing it.
Ideally, you want to be doing more reverses on a part 2 test.
Yeah,
but you're in a situation where you've got to deal with it as a driver. Yes?
Okay, to be honest, this is the first thing came up in my mind as soon as I saw that situation. If it's my car, straight output reverse safely, go and place. But also in a part 2 test, just start the test and going reverse will be ideal.
You're
and,
driving
Yeah.
high level, and by sitting in the middle of the road, just being a complete obstruction to everybody.
True.
Yeah, it's not helping. I mean, that in itself, it's possible. It could go. You know, an examiner could look at that thinking, why is he not dealing with it? It could go serious. It's not normal. It's not what you expect.
True.
But this is what the road throws up. Yes, deal with it. Deal with it safely. If you have to reverse 3 times on a part 2, not great. Don't really want to do it.
Okay.
But if I have to, I will. I'll make it safe. I'll tuck out of the way. I'll get out of the way. I won't be an obstruction to anyone. Everyone comes through as quickly as possible. Truck comes through, and then off we go. Okay? I did fault you, though, for the foot brake, because you got confused about, you thought it was going to hold you, and it didn't.
Yeah.
But that's because of the technology. You thought the technology was going to help you out. On both large roundabouts, you're turning right. No right signal. On the apex, you were not in the right-hand lane. You were second from the right. By putting that signal on, what does that confirm to everybody around you where you're going?
Going at least not the first one.
So what you're doing is you're creating an element of doubt. And also take that to the Stirling corner. Stirling corner, you were turning right.
Take the exit.
You correctly follow the road markings, but you come around with no signal and you've got vehicles waiting to emerge. What benefit would they have had from that right signal?
Probably they would have gone.
If you don't have the signal, what could they do to you? You're basically getting them to rely on your positioning and speed. What would happen if they misjudged that?
Sure, I mean, it would have been a danger.
Mini roundabout. Near the beginning, we're going ahead. It's just, again, just a driver fault. You're going ahead. You just went over it like it wasn't there. In fact, you went over middle right of it.
Probably it's one of your video. To be honest, I saw one of the video where he tried to go left and go.
No, but he really extended it. Like really extended it. A bit like, and it's the last video actually. He really extends it.
Yeah.
And but it looks like he's almost going to go left, and then he goes that way.
True. So
that's different.
That's what I said myself. Okay, I'm not going to confuse the other one. I'm going to show that where I'm going. It's a mini roundabout.
Normal driving position. You came down on we eventually, when we got back en route, came down on it, middle lane for quite a while. Yes. Eventually you came back to the left. But it's middle lane for no reason. You were doing speed limit. Where should we be?
Yeah, on the back
to the left. Yeah, you just stayed there. You're telling me that you don't want to take the revs over 2,000. I know you've probably seen my video where the guy's high revving it, but he was high revving it every single like completely unnecessary. But it's not eco driving. What does it say?
Eco safe.
Which takes priority?
Safe.
So if I emerge onto a road, national speed limit with a bend, right, and I can't see around the bend, and I'm emerging. Right? What am I going to do? Am I going to be worried about changing gear at 2,000 revs?
No.
Or what's my priority at that point?
Priority is to keep the car under control.
And do what?
And safe speed, safe right gear position.
If I can't see and someone comes flying around that corner and I'm just emerging onto the road, what
high gear, I couldn't even move out.
So what sort of acceleration would I want?
Yes.
Go. Safe takes priority, yes. So don't get bent out of shape with 2,000 revs. It's not about 2,000 revs having to change gear all the time. This has been Mohammed's Part 2 mock. I hope you got some value out of this. I really hope you get some value out of this.
Of course.
If you did get any value out of this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you like more content, and then I will see you in the next one. And also, please give him some love in the comments because he's come all this way.
Even the camera also not helping me today.
Camera's dead. Get Will out.
Today's the day.